Good day, I am Angelica Apolonio and I will be discuss lesson 12 about brief forms RD, LD, been in phrases and able in phrases. Brief forms. Here are 9 more brief forms for very common words.
We have some words of brief form here. First example is when. This is how you do the stroke of when. Letter E and N. This is the letter E and N. Next example is after. This is how you do the stroke of after. First letter is A, F, and T. This is the letter A, F, and T. Next word is could. This is how you do the stroke of could. K and D. K and D. Next word is end. That's the stroke of end. Our next word is were. This is how you do the stroke of were. This is the E and R. This is the E and R. Next word is should. Downward symbol of ish and upward line of D. That's the stroke of should. Next word is from. First word is F and M. F and M. That's the stroke of from. Next word is street. S, upward D, forward R. This one is the S, D, and R.
RD. The combination RD is represented by writing the R with an upward turn at the finish.
So we have here examples of principles of RD. This is the symbol of RD. Like this. And finish like that. So we proceed to the example word of RD. First word is assured. This is how you do the stroke of assured. Letter A, ish, upward deep hook, and the RD combination. That's the stroke of assured. So the next word is hired. We have here the sounds of H, I, and the RD combination. This is how you do the stroke of hired. The broken circle and the RD combination. That's the symbol of, that's the stroke of hired. Next word is insured. So we have here the sounds of in, ish, and then the RD combination. This is how you do the stroke of insured. First is in, ish, deep hook, and the RD combination. That's the word insured. Next word is record. First, we have R, K, downward deep hook, and the RD combination. That's the word record.
LD. The combination LD is represented by writing the L with an upward turn at the finish.
So we have here example words of LD. But before we proceed to the example of LD, let's do first the stroke of LD. This is how you do the stroke of LD. Halos parehas lang po sila ng RD. Pero mas maikli po yung RD. Tapos ito pong LD is mas mahaba po yung forward niya. So let's proceed to the example word of LD. First word is mailed. So we have here the sounds of M, A, and LD combination. First letter is M, A, and the LD combination. That's the stroke of mailed. Next word is old. So we have here the sound of O and LD combination. First letter is O and the LD combination. That's the stroke of old.
Been in phrase. The word been is represented by be after have, has, had.
So we have here examples of been in phrases. But always remember that been is represented by letter B. So the first words that we have is have been. This is the stroke of have been. This is the have, and the next is been. That's the stroke of have been. The next one is I have been. So we have here I have been. That's the stroke of I have been. This one is the I have and been. The next word is you have been. First, you have been. This is the you have been. The next is I should have been. First is I should, upward line, have been. That's the stroke of I should have been.
Able in phrase. The word able is represented by a after be or been.
We have some examples of able in phrases. But always remember that able represented by a. The word able is represented by a. So first example is I have been able. This is the stroke of I have been able. I have been able. This is the I have been able. And next is I should be able. This is the stroke of I should be able. I should, upward line, be able. That's the stroke of I should be able. Next is I may be able. This is the stroke of I may be able. I, infinity, may be able. That's the stroke of I may be able. The next is you have not been able. This is the stroke of you have not been able. You have not been able. That's the stroke of you have not been able.